Good afternoon, Ed McDonald, and first I'd like to thank John for putting this group together. I think this is a very important meeting for us to move forward in Hampton. I have three things that I'd like the group to consider, and one is the transportation needs. That's been the major hindrance to the Hampton Beach reaching its full economic potential, and it'll continue to be that way unless we can gain better access to and from I-95. The Hampton Beach Master Plan, that portion dealing with transportation, was a little bit too narrow in its scope. The recommendations, if they were implemented, wouldn't have alleviated the traffic conditions at the beach. The choke points that we have at the bridge, at High Street, Church Street, Brown Ave, once you get people there, you just can't move them any place. So what I'm suggesting is a more in-depth and comprehensive study be done. The construction of the four-lane bridge across the river is important and is absolutely necessary in my opinion, but it's not going to alleviate, it's not going to be the panacea for the transportation needs of the area. It's only going to move that choke point from the river down to 286. So we still have two one-lane roads leaving the beach. One of the most amusing things, I think, if you've been around the beach a long time, is if you stand up here by Church Street and watch an 18-wheeler or a bus come to that intersection and see a sign that says 295, and they look at that road more I guess appropriately driveway, they kind of look around. If they're a new driver here, they look around and say, you know, is candid camera or you've been punked going to jump out here? You know, it's just that trying to get through there is difficult. So what I'd like to, and this isn't going to be something in the near future, but what needs to be considered, I think, is a toll road directly from I-95 to 1A. And where I suggest that it might be appropriate to consider is from 107 and I-95 to the south side of the Hampton River Bridge. Now, a lot of people will say you can't build in a salt marsh. If you do it environmentally sound, it's being done all across the country now, and I don't see why we couldn't do it here. And this toll road that I'm suggesting not be publicly funded wholly, but to try to involve private funding. There are many places now that are building infrastructure projects through toll revenue, and private entities are doing that. So that's one of the things that I think you should consider if that is, people think that's a viable option. Try to do it through private funding. And actually, Hampton's been pretty well, had some experience in using private funding to increase or to build infrastructure. If everybody will remember, the Hampton Beach Improvement Company was given a 100-year lease or a 99-year lease to develop all of the leaded streets in Hampton, to build the roads, to build the infrastructure, the sewer, the water, the electricity. So that's something that could be considered. And the other thing is the first bridge built to Hampton was in fact built by a trolley company. So there's private funding. Another thing that this could include would be an idea that I think it was Skip Windemiller had when the Hampton Beach Master Plan was being discussed, is having an elevated restaurant built, incorporated into the bridge that could increase revenue for private funding, if there was private funding available. So that's the transportation needs. The second item was, I think we need to be a little bit more selective in the anchor projects that we're considering. The one that's under consideration now, I think the Airspace Museum, Airspace Sea Museum, I guess it is to me, would generate day trippers. And I think that's not exactly what we want. We have day trippers now. I think what we need to have is something that will generate private development to support an anchor. One of the things that, one example might be a higher education facility, similar to Woods Hole Oceanographic Institute in Falmouth, where you would have the infrastructure to service that built around it. That also could be a public-private funded facility if you could convince Dartmouth College or another higher university and UNH to fund it. And I'm getting a flag from John, so I'm gonna, one last one is one area we overlook in Hampton that should be studied for development is the Hampton River and Harbor area, where it's overlooked, and it's if it was done environmentally sensitive, you could get some good development in that area also. Coupled with the toll road, an enhanced port of Hampton, you might even generate a ferry system that could connect up and down the coast. So those are the three areas that I think would be worthwhile to look at. Thank you.
Hello, Jim Walsh, 123 Ashworth Ave. Many of you on this board here know me over the years. I've been around the beach, seen a lot of things. I like a lot of the people I see here. I don't have anything against anyone here. The issue of when everyone gets together is you all have your little corners. This is the way we go, this is the way we go, push and pull. We have a master plan at Hampton Beach. It is 9 years old now. The way the master plan was broken up was things to do, the advice of the people putting together the master plan was 1 to 2 years, 3 to 9 years, and then 9 on to 50. I think we have to look at the master plan and find out what is lacking and what is lagging behind in the development of that master plan. And I think the transportation issue is number one, the zoning issue is number two. I think if we get together and study those individually, we can update our master plan without completely reinventing the wheel. And that's all I have. Thank you.